Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about that emergency makeup kit that you can keep in your bag and just overall about touching up your makeup. So now in my regular purse that I carry with me every day, I have kind of my little emergency kit right here. And basically I just keep a few key items in it so that throughout the day I can make sure that my makeup is staying flawless, especially if I'm running around on a story at work, and then I have to be back on camera again. Sometimes I need to touch up right out in the field and know that I'm going to be able to look good on camera no matter what I've been doing all day long. So definitely for any sort of emergency kit that you kind of keep in your bag with you, you want to keep it as streamlined as possible so it doesn't take up your whole bag. You don't want your entire makeup bag in your purse, but you kind of just want to focus on the things that specifically that your skin or your makeup that you sometimes have a little bit of trouble with. For example, I have fairly oily skin, so the one top priority that I keep in my bag is the Clean and Clear Oil Absorbing Sheets. Now these are really cheap. You can grab them at any drugstore, Target, pretty much anywhere. And you basically, do a quick little demonstration for you. You basically just take one of the sheets out of the bag, and it kind of is just this plain little dark sheet, and you dab it across your skin anywhere that you get oil in your T-zone, anywhere, and you'll kind of be able to see if you're really oily. It'll kind of will almost become transparent. But the nice thing about these is it really doesn't, I'll just kind of lift my glasses here. It doesn't pick up really any of your makeup. It's just going to absorb that oil. So especially during the summer, again, when I'm out in the field running around, or just even if you're just walking between offices, these are great to keep around. And really, before you touch up any makeup during the day, I would suggest, if you have even a little bit of oily skin, that you kind of go in with a blotting sheet first before you go to touch up any other makeup, because otherwise you're really just going to be kind of caking on the foundation, the powder, and really your makeup won't look as nice, versus if you kind of blot off that excess oil first and then go to touch up, it'll really make it look a lot nicer. So the other two things that I would suggest is that, in your makeup bag, you don't want your absolute nicest, your $50 eyeliner or concealer in there. You want something that's kind of cheap and easy, since it might, be exposed to a little bit more changes in heat and light, and might not hold up as well. So I would suggest the e.l.f. products. They're really, really super cheap. They stand for eyes, lip, and face. And again, you can get them in most drugstores. And these literally probably are the cheapest makeup products you can find. And they're definitely not as good of quality, of course, but they're perfect to just kind of keep in your bag with you, again, that you can kind of just toss once you're done with them. What I would suggest getting is the concealer in a shade that's basically similar to your skin tone, so you can kind of spot correct your foundation, and then an under eye concealer, or just any sort of concealer that's a little bit lighter for your under eyes. And then also the e.l.f. products, I would suggest their HD powder. Again, not the highest quality HD powder, but it's really, really great to keep in your bag because it's easy, and if you open it up, it comes even with a little a powder applicator here, which you can see mine's kind of dirty from using every day. So those products you'll definitely want to keep. I would also highly recommend keeping any sort of a chapstick. I just got this one in my Ipsy bag, I think from last month. Jersey Shore Cosmetics Peppermint Moisture Rich Hydrating Balm. This has kind of been my go-to that I've been leaving in my emergency bag. So those are kind of the main things for your face. If you want to throw in, maybe an eyeliner that's not your favorite, but you still like it, you can throw that in there. Or definitely a mascara. This is, oh goodness, this is worn off here. Oh my goodness, this is the L'Oreal Carbon Black mascara, $3.95. And so like I said, you can kind of just throw that mascara in your bag so that if you do powder or anything, you can just throw a coat of that on and really open up your eyes again. But when you are touching up your makeup, the biggest thing too is you want a light formula. You've already done your face, you've already primed, done your products, you've done a setting spray, so things will stay pretty well in place, but you definitely don't want a really heavy product. This is not the time to put on your full coverage foundation on top of whatever makeup you have in place. So for example, so I have my my makeup on here, and I'm starting to see a little bit of fading in my chin area where I have some scarring from some recent breakouts. You can take your e.l.f. Concealer, again, in the shade of your skin, and kind of go back in and spot correct in those areas. Ooh, this one may be a little bit light, and you can even just dab with your finger, unless you have a brush with you, and that you can kind of go in any specific places where you need a little bit more coverage and just dab on top. And again, these are a little bit of a cheaper sheer product. It's just going to go on really easily, and like I said, be great for touch-ups. And the same thing under your eyes, if you tend to get that creasing at all, like I do, even when I set with my setting powder, when I set my under eye makeup, I still just get a little bit of creasing. So I'm just going to pop these up for a second, and you can just definitely, you know, pop a little bit right underneath, and again, just kind of smudge that in with your finger. The heat of your finger will kind of allow you to disperse that product a little bit more easily. Now, I definitely don't recommend using your fingers for your products every day, but again, just for touching up, this is kind of the easiest way to do it. So again, you want to go for more of a sheer formula, probably, like I said, a less expensive product, because as they're in your bag, they might get a little bit beat up. Again, they're going to be exposed to some more changes in heat. The materials may break down a little bit. You don't want to put your most expensive products in there and then have them ruined a couple weeks later. So if you just keep a few of these products, I suggest like a little pouch like I have here, something this big. You can even make something smaller if you want, but just something where you can kind of store those products so that you can touch up throughout the day. Definitely, you know, pretty much before I get out of the car, any shoot I go to, I just grab a little bit of this e.l.f. HD powder, get a little bit of that on my, let's get some on here, on the little powder puff here, and just kind of dab that in my T-zone here. And again, that kind of takes away any of that last minute shine that you have, and kind of makes you look just definitely matte and put together when you go walk into a room to, you know, meet someone for a meeting, an interview, whatever you happen to do. So again, these are just my suggestions. Lastly, thing that I would suggest to keep is whatever lipstick you're wearing today. Today I have on the Urban Decay, what color is this? Turn On lipstick. It's like a bright pink, so I would keep that right in your bag so you don't have to go rooting through a million lipsticks. Like if you're anything like me, I have so many in my bag trying to figure out which one I was wearing that day. So you can definitely keep that in your bag and then just pop it on. Know that you have the right shade and know where to find it so that you can easily reapply throughout the day. So those are my top suggestions. The only other thing that I keep in my bag typically beyond those products is a little mini hairspray. This is just the Tresemme. This is like a pretty strong hold. This is a number 4 hold, but this is just good for touching up out in the field, especially flyaways. You can even kind of spray it onto your fingers or hands and then kind of, you know, work it across the hair to kind of, if it's getting a little bit wild in the center, to kind of organize or get rid of any flyaways. But other than that, I definitely would not suggest keeping your whole makeup bag in your purse. That's just going to give you a headache and, you know, kind of probably contribute to adding too many layers on. If you just keep a few simple, small products in, it'll help you kind of just touch up where it's needed. I mean, if you're someone who, you know, particularly struggles with keeping eye makeup in place, you may want to keep an eyeliner or even a little bit of a smudging brush in your bag. Or again, like if you're like me and have oily skin, definitely the oil absorbing blotting sheets and a powder are a must. So really whatever your particular skin needs and makeup needs are. And if you're someone that maybe has super dry skin, maybe you want to keep a hydrating mist in your bag so that you can kind of freshen up and kind of have more of a dewy finish throughout the day. Or again, someone like me who's oily would want to keep that powder. So whatever your needs are, I would definitely suggest keeping a small bag to make sure, again, that your makeup stays flawless all day. All that hard work that you spend in the morning doing keeps up throughout the day. So I hope that this was helpful. I'll put a full list of the products that I use down in the description box. Please like and subscribe.